Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Common Good Podcast. I'm Doug in Minneapolis area. And squirreled away just outside of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Rob Ryerson.
Howdy, howdy. Hey. Big day.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Tuesday.
It's actually, today is the kickoff day of the You Deserve a Town Hall tour.
It's not quite as catchy as You Deserve a Break today, but it's pretty good.
I've got a jar full of Skittles that I showed you on Friday back here behind my shoulder. You Deserve a Break today. Was that Kit Kat?
No, that's Break Me Off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
No, but the You Deserve a Break today.
McDonald's.
Was it McDonald's?
I believe so, but any of the early viewers to the stream should tell us if we don't have that right.
Well, I do not want to have to get 2,443 chicken McNuggets to put in a jar that would not decompose at all. But it's been 2,443 days since my opponent Steve Womack held a town hall in district. In person.
Hey, tell me about that. Why is he not? I mean, I know that they're afraid people are going to show up, but just do one and break the streak and be done. Just like
his last
grin and bear it.
His last town halls went very, very badly.
Okay.
And
that was in Trump reign one.
Yes.
Imagine how bad it would be now.
There were people were organized through Indivisible and other groups to show up, and they asked hard questions, and it got tense, and he does not have the temperament to handle that real well. And he just said,
doesn't want to do it.
Screw it. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
And I think, regardless of policy, one of the basic functions of a representative is to look people in the eye and answer their questions and explain what you've done. And so I'm going to be doing that today. It's been 2,443 days since Steve Womack has done it. Today is day number 1 of me doing a town hall, and it will be the first of 9 town halls throughout the district that we are doing. 4 of them this week, in fact.
Wow. So it's the first day of the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's right. Today we're in Bentonville. Tomorrow we will be in Fort Smith. Thursday we'll be back here in Springdale. And then Saturday we'll be in Rogers. And then
is there anybody recruiting people to attend your town halls and ask you the difficult questions about your promises?
Yeah, we've got a whole team of people that are.
No, I mean opposition side, like Indivisible did.
No idea. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that.
Do you have a tracker yet? Is there anybody? Is there a college kid with a DJI camera?
Have not noticed a tracker yet, but we will see if one shows up during the town hall tour. That would absolutely be fun. But listen, I've got nothing to hide. I'm actually willing to show up and answer people's questions. Let's talk about this stuff.
Totally. I mean, look,
it's just so basic.
And when you are the challenger, you literally don't have anything. You're like, I haven't done anything yet to any of you. I've just promised I'm going to make things better. That's right. There is no. You can't hold the challenger accountable for the promises.
That's right.
But you could say, here's what I promised to you. 2 years from this day, you could say to the people, 1 year from today and 2 years from today, I will be right back here at this same time. You set your clock by it, and you can ask me what I've done. That'd be a nice shtick, right?
Pull out your phone, tell the AI that you use, whose name I don't want to say for fear that she will pop up here and start talking to me. SIRI. Add it to my calendar now.
Add it to my calendar. Take your phone out and add it to your calendar. We're right back here, and you will hold me accountable.
It's a good idea.
Steve Womack said that 4 years ago, 5 years ago,
7 years ago,
7 years ago.
2019.
Maths are
September
hard.
2019.
Maths are hard.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a great.
So that's what I got going on.
I spoke yesterday at the rotunda at the Minnesota Capitol.
Yeah.
Supporting an effort to increase mobile voting in Minnesota, which happens in states all over the country. They have mobile voting units, but Minnesota hasn't allowed it, and so there was an effort to try to expand that. And so got to doing those rotunda things, which is sort of fun. So just a little update. If people want to watch my little 4-minute speech.
Totally trying to just make it easier for Democrats to cheat, aren't you, Doug?
Yeah. I mean, if we have to wait for people to go to a place on a set day before we cheat, well, that's not going to work. We've got to start cheating early and often. I really hope people are in the chat and they're going to give us grief. But a couple of weeks ago, when driving back from Florida in Good Force One, we spent a couple of days in what's become one of my more favorite places in the country, which is the border of Florida and Alabama. Discovered it on the cross-country bike ride, which will soon be featured in the documentary showing on PBS stations across the country in the fall. Big news there. And we ran into the whole coastal area, which is often very affectionately referred to as the Redneck Riviera. And it's wonderful. And then we're the border of Florida and Alabama, which is
I'm just looking up at my U.S. map.
Up in the panhandle of Florida, Central Time Zone. So I felt at home. Right at the border, there's a bar and a restaurant called Florabama. Very famous for lots of things in sort of the Redneck Riviera culture of the world. And they have 3 different stages, or 4 stages that day maybe, where music is happening. One of them was kind of a little singer-songwriter bar upstairs called the main stage. It's actually the smallest one. But anyway, guy singing. He's doing a great job. Just a guy with a guitar and a bunch of people around. He finishes the whole set with "Proud to be an American." Okay. People are standing up. And there's a line in "Proud to be an American," which those of us who live where I do here in Minnesota tune an ear to, which says, "From the lakes of Minnesota to the somewhere else," doesn't matter where else.
The hills of Tennessee.
To the hills of Tennessee. Okay, good. So he finishes the song. People are proud, where at least we know we're free. And I went up and, the guy was packing up his stuff. So I pointed my camera at his Venmo deal and he looked over and I said, "Hey, thanks for that." And he goes, "You're welcome, man." And I said, "Especially that last song, man. I'm from Minneapolis and I can't tell you how much that meant to me because, we were attacked by federal masked agents who came and took our freedom away and shot and killed 2 of our citizens. And just hearing that song and the refrain, that meant so much to all of us hearing that here. I just really want to thank you for that when we stood up against the tyranny of this federal government." It was wonderful. The guy's like, "Hey, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it." I said, "Yeah, no, I appreciate you." And I was so full of joy and sheer, because I was sincerely feeling that in the song. I was sincerely feeling, I was actually proud to be an American when we stood up against the oppressors. When the shameful attack took place on a great American city, we stood up and we're proud of it.
Yep.
Those who laid their lives down. I mean, it's like, yeah, we'll take that song. We'll take that song too. Thank you. Yeah. We'll take the House of Representatives. We'll take the Senate, and we'll hold off. But we'll come back and pick up the presidency in a bit. And by the way, give us "Proud to be an American." Sons of guns. Because look, the country's always been full of all kinds of us. There's never been a time when all Americans were on the same page as we like to think. So,
hey, Doug. I gotta tell you, one of the things that makes me proud to be an American is.
Hey, this is a good segment. Let's do a "What Makes Me Proud to Be an American" today.
is that I have the freedom to purchase the phone service that I want.
What you talking about?
I mean, I'm currently locked into a long-term abusive relationship with Sprint. No, not Sprint. AT&T used to have Sprint. AT&T. Always feel like I'm probably missing out, but whatever. One of the things I did miss out on, Doug, was the opportunity to get a Trump phone. Have you heard the latest Trump phone news?
I just knew that they had launched some
Okay. So here we go.
phone service.
I'm gonna read to you from Fortune.
Oh, please.
Trump headline: Trump Mobile quietly rewrote its fine print to say the gold Trump phone may never be made a year after taking $100 deposits. Here's the article. A year after followers of President Donald Trump put down $100 deposits for a Trump-branded gold phone, not one has shipped. And a recent change in the fine print has some worried that they may never arrive. Last month, the company behind Trump Mobile, T1 Mobile LLC, quietly updated its pre-order terms and conditions to clarify that it, quote, does not guarantee that a device will be produced or made available for purchase. A pre-order deposit provides only a conditional opportunity if Trump Mobile later elects, in its sole discretion, to offer the device for sale.
Incredible.
59,000 people, Doug, sent $100. Donald Trump in his Trump phone, made $59 million.
I was just getting my phone out to do the math. You just did it with zeros, didn't you?
Yeah.
59 million, not 5.9 million? 59 million?
I think it's 59 million they made. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Trusting zeros. I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, I went to Christian school.
It gets to be a lot of zeros in a hurry. Yeah.
It could be 59 million. It could be 5.9 million. It could be $590.
It doesn't matter.
Any amount of money you take and then say on a deposit for a product, and then you say, meh, we might never actually make this thing.
Yeah. Maybe not. What you gonna do?
It's just ridiculous.
Maybe not. I mean, look, but that is perfect.
Listen,
this is the buffoonery.
This is not a GoFundMe. What's that? Is it GoFundMe? What's a
Kickstarter?
Kickstarter. Thank you. This is not a Kickstarter campaign from the President of the United States. Like, hey, I've got this idea. Can I get some support? And
No.
People know with Kickstarters, when you support a Kickstarter campaign, that you're taking a gamble, that you're making an investment, that you might lose your money. When the President of the United States invites you to put down a deposit on being able to purchase a gold Trump phone, the expectation is, I'm going to be able to purchase that phone. But if that is your expectation, let me remind you, this is a guy who bankrupted a casino. This is a guy whose steak company went out of business. This is a guy whose university went out of business. This is a guy who's declared bankruptcy 7 times. This is a guy who's only a billionaire on paper because of his crypto pump and dumps. This is a guy who is not a good businessman, and he just took your money.
Yeah. And kicked you in the starter. That's what he did. Yeah. Amazing, Rob. I mean, great find. And this, look, if this was a one-off, people might say, okay, somehow somebody looped Trump into some business affair and stuff happens, and they're probably going to return the $5.9 million. Again, I don't know, 59, 5.9. I think it's 5.9. It's 5.9.
Keep talking about it.
Okay, I looked it up, and I looked at the number, and I said, I think that says 5. They're going to return the millions of dollars that they grifted off people for just reselling phone service, which people do all the time. There's all kinds of systems where people are packaging and repackaging and putting different businesses together. Who cares? If people want to pay the president for their phone service, look, there's a lot of jobs, Rob, that you get.
Trump scammed this. See, maybe it was 590,000 people because I've got
maybe it was $1,000 deposit.
59 million.
Maybe I did the math wrong.
No, I mean,
You did it too?
The articles are saying 59 million. 590,000 people paid $100,000.
590,000.
Yes. So
Even
I missed
worse.
a zero on the number of people. I missed a zero on the suckers, not on the dollar amount. 590,000 people, nearly 600,000 people paid $100 each for Made in America, Made in the USA Trump phone, no refund, made in China, not even going to be made in China, and Trump $59 million. There we go.
Somebody should look into the perhaps wire fraud that took place. When did you know that you were not going to deliver the phones? You know who they should call? Trump should call Jimmy Baker, who got arrested for selling things that he knew he couldn't fulfill. That's why he went to jail. Remember the husband of Tina Fey? Remember the father of
Tammy Faye?
Our friend? Yeah, what did I say? Tina Fey?
Yeah.
He was never married to Tina Fey. He was married to Tammy Faye Baker.
Know of.
Tammy Faye Baker.
I've not spent every waking moment with Tina Fey, so I don't know.
I don't know who she's married.
Jim Baker.
I mean, prove to me they didn't get married.
Does he deliver on the buckets of emergency food?
I'm sure that Jim Baker is scamming people again when he's giving them food for their support
Apocalypse
bunkers. You go to jail, seriously, like a real crime in America is fraud, which we know because Trump has been convicted of 32 counts of fraud. It's real fraud for a corporation to make a promise to deliver a product that they take payment for and not deliver it. And if they know that they're not going to deliver it, then it becomes a conspiracy, including the fraud. So, well, you can't because the Justice Department won't do its job.
Yeah.
I mean, this Justice Department is only slower in prosecuting the crimes of Trump. It's only slower than one other Justice Department, the one led by Merrick Garland.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite figure out how to prosecute the crimes that we all watched happen and discovered in the pants boxes.
This is not the only example of Donald Trump defrauding the American people. He was, full in his fraudster ways when on the campaign trail, he would stand up in front of everybody and talk about groceries, a word he basically invented or brought back into vogue, a word that people barely used, but he just thinks it's a great word and brought back its usage when he promised that groceries would be much cheaper on day one. Doug,
which was an aspirational promise. We all knew that day one was aspirational, but we are at day. Hold that thought. Let me look it up.
Yeah, entirely too many days. The American people don't need a report to let them know this, but there was a report confirming what we already know. Inflation in April up 3.8%, highest increase in a very long time. And Donald Trump is responsible because he did not bring the prices of groceries down. He did not bring the prices of gas down. He did not bring the price of utilities down. He did not bring the price of home construction down. He did not bring the price of homes down. He did not bring the price of healthcare down. In fact, all of it is up on his watch. It's not Joe Biden's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault. And listen, and as I have said before, and I will say again many, many times, I'm sure, President of the United States often gets way too much credit or way too much blame for this kind of stuff. But Donald Trump has done the thing that actually has a direct impact on this. Two things, in fact.
Mhm.
Number one, he has bombed Iran and sent the Middle East into chaos, causing gas prices to go up, oil prices to go up, and that has a trickle-down effect. This is one of the times where trickle-down actually works. That has a trickle-down effect on the cost of absolutely everything, because everything takes oil to either be produced or to be moved so it can be sold. Costs go up. And he also brought chaos to the American economy with his stupid tariffs, which have done so much to destabilize
Remarkable
our
damage.
economy, bring insecurity to our economy. The one thing an economy cannot handle is insecurity. Yeah, like it can have a bad outlook, it can have a good outlook. When it doesn't know what's going to happen, that's what throws an economy into chaos, and that's what Donald Trump's ping pong, chaotic, whack-a-mole,
Ding dong.
is done.
Ding dong. It's ping pong ding dong tariff plan.
Seriously. And so this inflationary news that Americans, I mean, again, we don't need a report to tell us. We've been to the gas station, we've been to the grocery store. Like we've opened up our electric bills. We understand. We know what's going on. But this inflationary news that dropped, where inflation is up 3.8% because of Donald Trump, he is fully 100% responsible for this.
Day 478 of the Trump terror regime in this term. I grant that it's just a promise. It's just a general notion, day one, like right at the start, we're going to get it done. Sometimes presidents overpromise 100 days. In the first 100 days, here's what we're going to accomplish. And people are like, okay, it's going to take a while. There's 365 days in your standard calendar year. We're at 478. And prices are continuing to go up. Gas prices, averaging national and local where we live here in Minneapolis. In November of 2024, when voters said, intolerably high, need a new president, need a new administration, $3.10, which was too high.
Yep.
Today, $4.50, 45% higher.
Yeah. Riff on this, Doug. Go.
I have never heard a MAGA supporter, and I listen to lots of them. You all probably do as well. I haven't heard a MAGA supporter tell us that they're bothered by the high gas prices. They used to be bothered by the high gas prices. So if you've got any friends or family that have ever said to you in the last 478 days, I'm really bothered by these high gas prices, I'd love to hear it. Maybe you could pop it in the chat. Let us know. Send us a note. Use our socials or email. Doug at VoteCommonGood, Rob at VoteCommonGood.com. Look, and I get it that we're all this way at some level, right? Like when your preferred person is in office, you tend not to pick at the problems. You tend to let the cut scab sort of be. You don't pick at it. Sorry if it sticks anybody out now to think about somebody picking a scab. But you don't tend to pick at it when it's your own person you supported who's in office. And when the other person is in office, it's an intolerable itch that you just keep the wound open all the time. But come on, friends. Everything is worse in Trump's America. Everything is worse. I would love for someone to argue what's better. And if you want to say, well, solidifying the tax structure from the first administration, which carried all the way through Biden's administration, and then Trump sealed that deal in the big, beautiful bill that they passed and made it permanent just until the next Congress and president undo it, which they're going to do. But took the built-in cap off and said, Congress now has to do this. It's not going to sunset on its own. If you want to say that, but what that did was nothing for now, even if that's your argument, nothing for now, only for the future. I don't know what else a person would try to argue is now better in America. Most people I know didn't care that Donald Trump said there weren't going to be new wars, didn't care that Donald Trump said that the Epstein files were going to be released, didn't care that he said he was going to bring prices down, and didn't care that he said he was going to lift up the American spirit, didn't care that at his convention speech he said he was going to bring America together. Nobody cared that I know who didn't vote for Trump about that. But I know a lot of Trump supporters who really cared about that stuff. They basically sent him their $100 deposit on his presidency so they could get the gold phone of his promises. And he just changed the fine print.
Maybe, Doug, maybe he can't deliver on the gold phone.
Can't deliver the goods.
Maybe he can't deliver on the gold phone because the gold all went to his new statue.
Look, I know people in the religion world are barking about this gold statue at Mar-a-Lago. Who cares? A bunch of lackey religious leaders standing around not at all connecting that maybe in the biblical story you don't worship and celebrate around gold statues without recognizing the similarity to the biblical narrative that you might be conjuring up here. Yes. But it's on private property, and the guy's just vain moron of self-indulgence. Did he pay for the thing? I'm sure he didn't. Somebody did, right? Somebody gifted it to him. Sure. Yeah, because billionaires, you know what billionaires want? They want gifts from other people. Right. Yeah. If you're a real billionaire, you're really happy about getting something for nothing.
Yeah, I've got two comments on this. Number one, setting aside the whole, golden calf worshiping an idol kind of thing, Doug, can you think of a story in the stories we tell ourselves where the good guy had a gold statue of himself?
Well, it's okay. The problem is it's of himself on his own property is weird. But I've seen a lot of bronze statues. I was just at the Minnesota Capitol yesterday, as I mentioned, and there's a Hubert Humphrey statue out there with his hand raised and his small little Bob Newhart looking body and all. And so, we do statues of, I'm sure there's a Barack Obama statue somewhere, right? Is there not? Okay. But doing it yourself and putting it at your own property. But he took a photo of a painting of himself and put it in his Mar-a-Lago residence.
The other thing about this,
let me just finish this out. You know how weird it is? Have you ever seen anyone who, on their phone has a photo of themselves?
Just Donald Trump.
When you look at someone's phone and there's a photo on it of a person, you have to do math to think, relational math. Oh, that kid and dog are probably the child and pet of this person in the room, so you know whose phone it is. You don't look at it. It's not your driver's license where you look at it and you're like, oh, I know who this belongs to. It's complicated.
Yeah.
You don't put pictures of yourself in your own house unless it's in a group of other people.
The facial recognition is not a mirror. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Doug, the hair on the statue.
Oh, I did notice that it looked a little.
The hair is so strange. It just wings way out, almost like he's wearing a baseball cap.
Yeah, it seemed like it really got out of control. I don't know how statues are made. Are they made with a mold and then you pour
No
And then
idea.
because you can't like carve a statue like you would like a gold or bronze, and it's gold colored, right? Plated,
I don't know.
and can't even be gold plated.
It's not solid gold. That it would be.
Not like the solid gold Easter bunny. But no, but I mean, like, is there even any gold leafing in the paint? Because you know what I bet it's like? I bet it's like the wedding rings that now I buy after I lost my very good wedding ring in the luminescence of the St. Pete Bay a number of years ago. Sucked right off my hand, jumping out of the into the full moon sky of the luminescence. Whole other story. Lost my wedding ring. Went out there with a metal detector in the ocean trying to find it. I just did all I could. Then I went to get it replaced, and it was really expensive. So then I just order replica versions on Amazon, which come gold. And then in about 6 months, they're silver.
They start turning your finger green, and it's time to swap them out.
Yeah, no, they're not copper. They don't even give me any of that. They just become less gold, and then pretty soon I have a silver wedding ring, which is fine. It's not, there's no gold flaking. I don't even know what it is. And I don't know where that gold is going. It's probably getting into my food somehow. I don't know, or washing down the drain.
Yeah, you've got micro gold happening in your system.
Hey, did you hear? In fact, I saw I heard a very compelling story on NPR for one short stint, because since November of 2024, I haven't been able to listen to NPR without just a full trauma response. I can't watch MSNBC. All the people that were part of my delusion creating world, I can't, I'm not comfortable listening to it anymore. But somehow I was in the car and Science Friday was on, which is a show that we listen to here. It comes out of Boston or New York or something. It's a great little science show. And one of the news stories they do at the end of the show, like, hey, here's what's new in the science news, was that it turns out the tests that we've been using to determine how many microplastic fibers or molecules, how much microplastic is in our ocean water, was actually a false positive being created by a chemical reaction in the test kits.
Oh, wow. Wow. Because
tremendously good news, which of course many super progressos and won't take as good news, because somehow they think that then it's going to give people permission to keep using plastics, which it won't, because when people heard that the numbers were really high, we kept using plastics. It's just, it's not a motivator to get people to stop using it. But it's really good news that the microplastic level is not as high as we thought. And it turned out that there was...
The estimates were that the average American consumes 1 credit card worth of microplastics per year.
Yes. Turns out...
Maybe not. That's good news.
Super.
Hey, put Donnie Cass's comment up on the screen, Doug.
Donnie, hey, buddy. Good to hear from you.
You dopes. I love the word dopes.
I love it. That's great. That's great. We called Trump a buffoon, his buffoonery, and he called us dopes. We're just getting back to the old-timey. Trump's a buffoon and you're a dope. Thank you, Donnie. If you don't know, Donnie writes on Facebook, and we appreciate all of your great thoughts, Donnie. You dopes are about as Christian as my dog and not as smart. Laugh out loud. Look, dogs do have a genius that's hard to match. You know, look, Donnie, you drop me off 12, 15, 20 miles from your house. I couldn't get myself back there through the woods. Your dog totally could.
Yeah.
You shut my eyes and you have 15 people walk in the room. I couldn't tell which one was you. Your dog can, because it uses its sense receptors with a level of sorting and knowledge acquisition that the human can only barely come by. You could blow a whistle, Don, like the one that we had to blow when ICE agents sent by Donald Trump into Minnesota to attack our citizens. You could blow a whistle at a frequency that your dog would respond to, and I couldn't hear. True that, my man. True that. And the love that the divine, that God through Jesus has for animals is no greater matched by God's love for humans. God's love of all creation is without bounds, full
Much
and
like
complete.
No doubt your dog loves you, Donnie, in that same way. What a wonderful
Donnie, you
picture.
are right on all counts. We are dopes.
Yeah.
The benefits of being a Christian is the full acceptance and love of God, and dogs have it just as much as we do. And man, there are ways that they are smarter.
And we laugh out loud with you, Donnie.
And you know what, Donnie? If your dog were watching this, your dog would look at you and turn his cute little head and be like, Donnie, what you doing listening to those guys? So on that point, you have something to teach your dog.
Yeah.
Thanks for your comments.
Sometimes
Really
you guys,
appreciate you.
it's good to spend some time with some dopes sometimes.
Oh, totally. Hey, who do you enjoy a vacation with more? Non-dopes? They're just a bunch of dopes.
I mean, well, it all depends on how we're classifying my children. But hey, Doug,
See?
getting back to the,
Would either of us be married if our wives didn't tolerate dopes?
Oh, yeah, totally. Getting back to the question of fraud, buffoonery. Doug, Donald Trump had the East Wing of the White House knocked down.
Knocked down. I saw it. It shockingly broke my heart to see the pit of despair.
Yeah. So that he could erect a ballroom, big ballroom, needed a
Erect
ballroom.
his ballroom.
Got to have a ballroom.
A ballroom.
State dinners and ballroom. And
et cetera.
And fundraising events like the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
Got to have a ballroom. Doug, apparently and Donald Trump said this ballroom is completely paid for. Mm-hmm. That the ballroom was paid for by
donors.
Not the Mexican government. No, they paid for the wall. Paid for by donors. People who love America understand the need for a ballroom.
Ballroom donors.
Ballroom donors.
Because you know what wealthy people think we need more of in the world?
Ballrooms. We need ballrooms. And
because they weren't contributing for political benefit or political advantage. No. They just saw the efficacy of a ballroom.
Yeah. So apparently, Doug, in the planning of the ballroom, the president and his team, he is a real estate mogul.
Mogul, yeah. He's a developer.
Mogul. Yeah. Apparently, they did not factor in to the cost of the ballroom, the money that they raised from the ballroom donors. Apparently, they did not factor in the fact that maybe this ballroom could be used by, I don't know, the president of the United States. And therefore, it would need to be secure. Because now Republicans in the Senate have introduced a provision into the budget that is going through the reconciliation process to fund ballroom security by $1 billion. How did they not think through? And they say, oh, well, the ballroom's got to have bulletproof glass. What was it? Was this going to be a screened-in ballroom beforehand?
Yeah.
It's just the president of the United States going to be just...
It's basically a big gazebo. He really funded a gazebo. And they said, no, to make it a full presidential ballroom, we're going to need to put $1 billion, $1 billion just for the security of the ballroom. How much was the ballroom? What's the ballroom budget? Now I've got Ballroom Blitz running through my mind, and it's a Peter Frampton song, Ballroom Blitz. Can you ask your assistant to tell us what the amount that Trump raised to construct the ballroom was? Because it's my remembering
I had
and guess
$490 million in my head.
that it wasn't even $1 billion.
I have 490 in my head.
So you have a ballroom construction, including, apparently, according to Trump, secure bunkers below.
Yeah. All right. So as of April 2026, President Trump stated that more than $350 million had been raised from private donors for the construction of the White House State Ballroom. 350 initial and current estimates of project. Seen its estimate, the cost rise from $2 million to nearly $400 million.
Look, there's always overruns.
And the inflationary costs and tariff policy
tariff costs.
coming home to roost.
We didn't factor in that the tariffs were still going to be in place by the time we had to order all these materials. Yeah, look, so he pitches some ballroom that's going to cost $500 million, $500 million. Roughly. On the grand scheme of things, historic space, presidential campus, building constructions, 100-year, 200-year legacy building, reasonable if you do it in the normal way. No taxpayer dollars. Other than double the price of the construction of the ballroom to make it functional. The buffoonery and the scams.
Yeah, this is.
And what is so delightful to me is that this building's never going to be named the Trump Ballroom. And if Jesus don't return and the creek don't rise, he's never going to walk into it. That a Democratic president will bar him from entering whatever artifice is created.
Yeah.
The fact that he was able to put in motion the destruction of the East Wing.
Oh.
And they're doing the same thing. This isn't nearly as important, but they're doing the same thing with municipal golf courses in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Trump wants to turn them into Trump golf properties to have major golf tournaments at. The man is the president of the United States. Look, these are things you might want to do from your presidential library. Every president that ends up out of office has a big project that they're into. Bush was into all kinds of activities in Africa and democracy around the world. Carter did, democracy work and important legacy work. Obama is making documentary films for Netflix or something. I don't know what exactly the Obama presidential library's focus is. I think Biden's going to redo Corvettes. I don't know what they're doing. Trump could have just said, my thing is going to be to leverage all of my expert construction and development into Washington, D.C. to make it the great city that it wasn't when I got there. Then you talk about the golf courses, you talk about the reflecting pool, you talk about the East Wing building. You take on all that as the America's greatest developer, now giving your gifts to America for its great national city. You don't do it while you're supposed to be doing your day job.
Yeah, no wonder he's sleeping through press conferences. He's so busy.
Falling asleep at the switch. Look, we used to worry what would happen if the 2 a.m. call came because somebody created one really great ad in like 1958 about the 2 a.m. phone call. Now it's the 2 p.m. nap that we're worried about. What if the phone rings at the 2 p.m. nap and Trump has to be startled awake to make a major decision? Look, truthfully, all divine and human forces calling into action here. May no nation ever experience terrorist attacks again, including the United States. But can you imagine the situation we will be in if any of the hellscape that Trump is creating globally finds its way to the American
Yeah, Doug, we know
country?
exactly what will happen. A pandemic of global scale will be completely bungled and 1 million Americans will die. Because that's what happened the last time.
The last time. If we're attacked, my goodness.
Yeah.
This guy truly is on Air Force One being asked about the war that he has started in Iran by attacking another nation with no declaration of any military hostile actions. Came out to the press, said, I want to talk about the curtains in the ballroom.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the golf course renovations that we want to do in Washington. Okay, could the guy who's a populist and says you will not be forgotten in Washington spend any more time trying to make Washington more beautiful? America the Beautiful is not trying to remake the reflecting pool, the East Wing, and the golf courses in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the reports are now out that Doge used ChatGPT to just go through and list out agencies and grants that use certain wokey words, and they just canceled the federal support for those systems. They broke the covenant bond between the government and we the people.
Yep.
This is the most frankly un-American administration we have faced.
Yep.
It's truly remarkable.
Yeah. Well, unlike Donald Trump, Doug, I've got actual work to do.
Hey, can we announce our previous conversation that we were just having here on the podcast, or should we wait?
Let's do it. Go to it. Make the announcement, and then I really do need to get rolling.
In light of the Supreme Court's disastrous decision to undermine the Civil Rights Voting Act, 1965, in light of the fact that new legislation based on new modeling was not ever passed into law, we have a devastating situation happening to allow states all over the country to use racial factors to redistrict. Because according to the Supreme Court justice, there's no difference between racial profiling and political profiling. It's just how you do it. So you get to do political gerrymandering, which is ridiculous, even if it's racially motivated, because the two are the same. Well, one of the places that's going to have great impact is in Memphis, Tennessee. We are calling together people running for Congress to join us in Memphis, Tennessee on May 22nd for a rapid response call to what should the new congressional members who will be elected in November do to rectify this. Faith leaders, community organizers coming together to declare something on May 22nd in Memphis, Tennessee. And maybe you want to come too if you're a listener to this, and it's going to be one of our Vote Common Good events.
Yeah. This is the Memphis Coalition. It is an emergency gathering for fair representation.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
We used to send out, when I ran a group called Emergent Village, we used to send out a newsletter called Emergent C. Emergent Communication is short. It was emergency.
I like it.
Just, God, I love fun.
The English language.
God bless you. God bless you,
right.
England. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Back on Tuesdays,
And
Pants Box, and we'll see you.
And I'll say, if you missed yesterday's podcast, Common Good Candidate podcast with Brent Robinson running for Congress in Florida, you should check that out. And on Thursday, we'll have another Common Good Candidate podcast conversation with Richard Ojeda running for Congress in North Carolina.
So much content coming out, so much work being done. Be a part of all this. Go to votecommongood.com. Don't miss the donate button. All right.